Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So in this video we'll discuss the third problem of LeetCode bi-week link contest 88. It's a medium level problem. The problem name is bitwise XOR of all the pairings. So again we got a bit manipulation related problem, pretty interesting one. We will see that mathematically itself. So yeah, you are given two zero index arrays nums1 and nums2 consisting of non-negative integers. There exists another array nums of 3 which contains the bitwise XOR of all pairings of integers between nums1 and nums2. I know it's a big problem statement. I'll explain you that in the diagram. Every integer in nums1 is paired with every integer in nums2. So all you need to return the bitwise XOR of all the integers in nums3. That's the problem, right? Let's jump into the explanation just to simplify the things. So it says that suppose you have two arrays, right? I'll take the first example. So it is 2, 1, 3 and the second array is 10, 2, 5 and 0. So what it says is you basically construct all the pairs. So you pick one element of this and each and every element of this, like for example you do 2 XOR 10, then you do 2 XOR 2, you do 2 XOR 5, you do 2 XOR 0. So you have formed a pair of this number with all the numbers of the second array. Now you do this for the second number. So 1 XOR 10, 1 XOR 2, 1 XOR 5, 1 XOR 0. You have done for this as well. Now what you do for the third number. So it's 3 XOR 10, 3 XOR 2, you do 3 XOR 5 and 3 XOR 0. So basically it says that for first array and second array form all the pairs. So this is a new array, right? These are the elements, first 4 elements, next 4 elements, next 4 elements, so total 12 elements. Now you take the XOR of all these 12 elements and return the final answer. That's the problem, right? That's the problem statement. Now instead of, like, this is looking like a complex number, like a collection of complex numbers. Let's take example using certain variables, right? So let's see, I have a1, a2 and a3, right? And I have b1, b2. Yeah, let's take just these two, right? So what are the pairs that you will form? You will form a1 XOR b1, a1 XOR b2. Then you will form a2 XOR b1, a2 XOR b2. Then you will form a3 XOR b1, a3 XOR b2. Then you will take the final XOR. Now just see, a1 is being repeated, b1 is being repeated, right? a1 is being repeated in this row, b1 is being repeated in this column and so on. Now there is a property of XOR. We know that for a number x, if we take XOR of that number with the same number, so we get 0. So x XOR x is 0 and 0 XOR x, that means if you take XOR of any number with 0, you get the same number, right? Or I can say that if the frequency of a particular number, let's suppose there is a number x and the frequency of this number is or if you take XOR of this number even number of times, like for example you take x XOR x, so there are two occurrences of x, right? So you get 0. And if you take if you do this operation odd number of times, like for example x XOR x, you have taken 2 times x, now you take third time x, so the frequency of x is odd. So in case of odd you get x. Why? Because this is 0 and 0 XOR x is x, right? Basic property of XOR, right? So just see here, if we find, so it doesn't matter, finally we are going to take XOR of all these values, right? All these values. So instead of taking XOR every time, if we just check that in the final equation how many times a1 is coming and how many times a1, a2, a3, b1, b2, b3 is coming, then we are good to go, right? What we'll do, we'll check that if a1 is coming even number of times, then don't take that into the equation, and if a1 is coming odd number of times, then you do answer XOR equals to a1. You do this for all the numbers, right? Because of this property, right? Because of this property. So what I can do is, now just see how many times a1 is occurring here, right? So a1 is forming pair by all the numbers of the second array, right? That means a1 is occurring, the frequency of a1 in the final equation will be equal to the number of elements in the second array, right? Because it will form pair by each and every number. So the number of occurrences of A1 will be equal to the number of elements in second array. Similarly, the number of occurrences of A2 in the final equation will be equal to the number of elements in the second array, right? So that means, and vice versa, like the number of occurrences of B1 in the final equation will be equal to the number of elements in the first array, right? And we can check that here. Now A1, how many times A1 is occurring? 1, 2. Why? Because there are only 2 occurrences of, or there are 2 values of, there are 2 elements in the second array. If you check about B1, if you check B1, so ideally by our theory, how many times should it occur? It should occur 3 times to form pair by all these 3 numbers. So 1, 2 and 3, it is occurring 3 times. Similarly, B2 is occurring 3 times, right? So what we will do, we will traverse the arrays, and for every element of the first array, we'll check that if the number of elements in the second array, let's assume the number of elements in the second array is m. So if m is odd, then you do answer XOR equals to n1 of I for all the elements of I. Similarly, if the length of the first array is n, so what you do answer XOR equals to again, if n mod 2 is not equal to 0, so what you do this m1 of I for all the elements of I, right? Basic stuff. So I hope this was clear. Let's just directly jump to the solution. Easy stuff. You can see the code is very small. All I do is I initialize my answer with 0, because obviously you take XOR of any number with 0, you'll get that number itself. I find the length of the first and second array, and as explained to you on line number 7, if the length of the second array, that means nums2, is odd, then you take XOR of elements of the first array, right? So you do that, you traverse the first array and you take XOR of all the elements in the first array. Similarly, when I go to process the second array, I check whether the size of the first array is even or odd. If that is even, just skip it, because even pairs, even number of occurrences will basically cancel out each other. So if n mod 2 is not equals to 0, then you do nums of 2 of I, you take the XOR, and finally you return the answer, right? So yeah, I would say a good question related to XOR. I hope you learned something new from this video. This was a good problem to solve. If you find this channel useful, do support it by giving up a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the channel. In case you have any queries, then please do mention that into the comments. I'll try to resolve each one of them. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.